I'm sure you'll find the neighborhood very nice here.
Oh, thank you.
See all these lovely old homes. Lived in them for many years, Alice. And we have a nice big yard and a garden out back. And all sorts of birds. You do like birds, don't you, Alice?
I want to go.
We're here. This is home. And isn't it lovely? And you'll meet awesome. You'll meet some very nice people. Bert, come in for lunch. And bring Edward with you.
That's Sammy's seat.
Sammy went to live with a relative. Everyone, I'd like you to meet Alice. Alice is our new roommate. So let's all give her a nice, warm welcome. Oh, Bert, dear, would you show Alice where we wash up for lunch? Mary, dear, will you lead us in a prayer of thanks?
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
I shall fear no evil.
I shall fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me.
I thought maybe we dug into a burial ground or something. There used to be an Indian village around here somewhere.
Oh, that'll be all I need right now.
You might have been down there since this was farmland.
You made a good call. Mr. Goldberg said he put in a new water line when I bought the house. It was supposed to be last summer.
So Mr. Goldberg's the original owner?
No. I think he buys old houses, renovates them a little, and flips them. You know the type.
So where's Mr. Goldberg? Where do we find him?
He was just here. He said he had another job site to go to. And look at the mess he's left. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, no hurry on this one. He's seen more than a few crops of peas and carrots come and go. I can't tell if there's injuries to the skull, but I figure getting buried in the ground this far down.
Yeah, he didn't cover himself with 3 feet of dirt, that's for sure.
What's the owner saying?
Oh, she's only had the place a year. Whatever happened here happened before that.
Go let her know to postpone any barbecue she's got planned.
Yeah, talk to the uniform man. Thank you, Leo. He knows where to find that owner.
Yeah, I'll call Chick and tell him to bring his spade and his trowel. He'll be tickled pink.
Oh, yeah?
That's not the way to do it. What? How would you do it?
There's not enough time for that to be done properly.
I'm taking everyone for a walk, Bert.
No, thank you, I'm fine.
Here's your medicine.
Too cold.
All right. But make sure you drink it all up. Oh, and if there's time, you can start on the fish pond today. We'll be back around supper time.
All right.
Nice shirt he's got on.
I remember when that was in style.
I think it died with this guy.
Polyester has at least one positive attribute. It doesn't degrade. I've got one just like it in my closet.
Now you're really scaring me, Chick. You get anything interesting yet?
Yeah, found this inside the rib cage.
It's a pacemaker. So he survived the surgery long enough to get killed.
Maybe it failed. That's what happened.
Yeah? So he was digging a ditch here, and then he dropped, and nobody happened to notice?
This thing should have a serial number on it, right?
Yeah, it should do. I'll have one of the guys go over it for you.
Okay. Thanks.
I talked to the real estate agent. She's going to show us some houses tomorrow. Some very nice big houses.
With a wonderful garden.
Yes. Roses and lilacs. Oh, and then we're going to go to the bank and we'll talk to the manager about your investments.
And those little purple ones. I've forgotten what they are.
Violets. Lots and lots of violets.
Violets everywhere.
Oh, goddamn you, get!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now I have to change the bloody sheets.
I'm sorry. What did I do?
You wouldn't have to sleep on the goddamn mattresses, what? Things I have to do for you. You know, you're just like a goddamn child.
Okay. I spoke to the manufacturer's rep on that pacemaker. He wanted to know if this was an investigation. Apparently that model had gone through a recall a few years ago.
What, they have pacemaker recalls now?
Apparently.
Really?
Anyway, this one was in a gentleman by the name of Robert Magus.
So either he'd already died or he got it too late.
This guy also wanted to point out that the battery in the pacemaker was guaranteed to last 10 to 12 years.
When did they install it?
Halloween Day, 1990.
Oh, yeah, it's right there. Okay, 10 years. So obviously that's when he went underground, then sometime after that point. When was this recall?
The first mailing was in March of 94.
Oh, yeah, it's right there. 94. So, now we're getting a timeline. Yeah, that's pretty good. Somewhere between 1990, that'd be the spring, and then, fall, and then ending up in the spring of 94. Good. You got anything else on him?
No. I'm still looking for his doctor. He's retired, and
what about a social insurance
number? I'm still looking for a social insurance.
You haven't got it?
I haven't got it.
Yeah, we need that. Look, I have to go to pathology. If anything happens, any leads, I want to know, okay? Interrupt me down there.
From what I can tell at a glance, we're looking at the skeleton of an elderly male. I'm guessing, but 70s, 80s, older. This gentleman had severe osteoporosis.
Well, that fits with the profile of Robert Magus, our pacemaker owner.
Yeah, it also fits with the house being a boarding house. Pensioners and transients were the main tenants there.
Here's what we have. He may have died between 90 and 94. There was a pacemaker recall issued in 94. What do you think?
There's no evidence of any violence that I can see. No bullet holes, no breaks to any of the bones. The bones weren't cut or severed.
Great.
Mary and I are going out, so you're in charge now. There's potato salad in the refrigerator and some sandwiches.
All right, Mom. Don't forget to get the fish at the pet store.
You have to finish the pond before we get the fish, dear. Don't let Alice get a sunburn. Make sure she sits in the shade.
What are you doing?
I'm making a pond for my fish. I'm getting some fish for the pond. And you can't feed them, that's my job.
I don't like fish.
You don't know anything about them.
We don't have the resources to assign anybody full-time to missing prostitutes investigation. But I would like to have a point man. Now, it means some extra hours, so think about it.
Don't need to. I'd like the assignment.
All right. Good. Well, I'll try and give you as much assistance as I have time for.
Great.
Thank you.
You wanted to work?
Yeah, who the hell's Viola McKnight?
She ran the boarding house where we found the remains.
Well, any idea where she is now?
Oh, we're looking. Seems she dropped out of sight. No driver's license, no hydro bills. Nothing since she sold the house.
Well, so far it's just remains, right? It's not necessarily a homicide. So unless this catches fire pretty damn quick, I'd like to kick it on over to the coal file squad.
Chick just found another body in the garden.
Okay, forget what I just said.
Found her about 3 feet down, over by the tree here.
Neighbors said there used to be a koi pond back here.
That'll be it.
The koi. That's those big goldfish, isn't it? They're beautiful. You know, they're supposed to bring good luck.
Yeah, the problem with koi ponds is the herons eat them.
Evidently, the woman who used to run the boarding house, Viola McKnight, she was worried one of the tenants would come along and trip, slip, take a tumble into the pond here. She had the handyman cover it up. Same guy the whole time she was here. A little odd, according to the neighbor.
It's kind of sad, looking like that.
I'm pretty sure it's a woman.
Yeah? What else can you tell us about her?
There are no clothes with this body.
Usually we find zippers, buttons, something, not with this one.
So she was buried naked?
Yeah.
So she comes in, so she goes out.
Well, something's definitely not right here. I mean, one old guy's bones found in the backyard. It's a long shot possibility. He's broke. He couldn't afford a funeral, didn't want the pauper's grave. But two, that's a trend.
Yeah. Maybe this is another Abelard and Eloise. Yeah, you know, the two French lovers who were dug up and reburied together so they could spend eternity together.
I mean, this is definitely a woman?
Mm-hmm. Hips and jaws are those of a female, elderly, most likely in her 60s or older would be my guess.
Oh, yeah? So, okay. Maybe it's a couple then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So far, there's no hard evidence of foul play. There's no broken bones, no cut marks, no incisions. Only this, she has holes in 4 of her teeth.
There's no goddamn fillings.
That's right. Now, it's possible that they all simply fell out.
Oh, no. Somebody pulled them out for her.
Possible. In her day, fillings were more often made from pure gold. Maybe somebody thought they were worth the trouble of removing.
But bad enough to get buried anonymously, but... Man, oh man, what kind of a life were they living before they died?
I know.
Jesus Christ.
They're lovely. Thank you.
They're your favorites.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Now, just one more signature, and that does it.
I've got a time of death for you on your skeleton, Robert Magus.
That's great.
He was alive and well and collecting social assistance until February of '96.
To 96, that doesn't seem right. Wasn't that that recall notice sent to him in '94?
Mm-hmm. He didn't respond.
So the social assistance was until '96. Where were the checks sent to?
1255 Begg Street.
Thank you.
The kids have been using this place for a toilet. I found a couple old crack pipes, beer bottles, condoms. I stepped on a rusty nail and went right through the heel of a goddamn shoe.
I gotta get you to the hospital, get a tetanus shot.
No, it didn't break the skin, but that lockjaw, that scares the hell out of me.
Neighbor here says the house was a rooming house for pensioners till 97.
97? See, Robert Magus was getting his welfare checks here till 96. But his pacemaker, was the recall going out in 94.
Well, the only reason you don't answer a pacemaker recall because you're already dead.
I'm thinking maybe somebody had a sweet little welfare scam going on here.
Any ideas running this place?
Some little old lady, didn't remember her name. Apparently she just walked from the place. I asked him if he ever heard of Viola McKnight, didn't ring a bell.
No? Yeah, well, we're up to 2 bodies and counting at the other place.
Yeah, I think we're checking the backyard here, too. What do you think?
Right, I'll go get Chick and pull him off that and get him over here.
Sure.
Step down here.
That hurts.
Here, right here. Ground's been disturbed pretty deep.
Okay, going off of what information we have so far, the bones belong to a woman, elderly, who lived in that neighborhood boarding house, probably existing on a minimal pension. Now, someone like her couldn't afford to go to a private dentist.
Yeah, well, who can unless you're covered by some kind of plan?
Exactly. Chick figured the chances were high that she'd visit the closest free clinic. There's one located 2 blocks from the neighborhood boarding house. We narrowed it down to older women going into the office between 1988 and 1999 with fillings in her bicuspids, a molar, and 1 wisdom tooth. That last one really narrowed it down. Now, 5 of those women were still alive, which left us with these 3.
Oh, no, this is definitely not a match. She has a slight upper bite. Our gal's teeth are slightly more crooked.
This one here has an upper right tooth that's much smaller.
Next. Hey, look at this. Crowns are in place exactly where the other one is missing them.
Oh, okay. The front teeth are slightly crooked.
I think we got a winner. And these beauties belong to
Miss Ruth Vera.
Come on down.
Vertebrae, ribs. Working my way down the body.
So it's buried flat.
Yeah, stretched out on her back. She was taking a nap.
She?
It looks like it.
We got a partially uncovered skeleton.
Pathology got an ID on the woman's skeleton from the first house. From her teeth. The teeth belong to a woman called Ruth Vera.
Ruth Vera. You sure? You got that right?
I think so. Why?
Well, that's the name the property developer for this place gave me.
Yep, Ruth Vera.
Yeah, 93 to 97, he leased this house out to Ruth Vera. She ran it as a rooming house.
Let me get this straight. Ruth Vera died at the other place. Somebody buried her in the fish pond and took her name.
And then rented this place. What you got there, Chick?
Looking at her right thigh.
You already got a right thigh bone.
Yeah, I noticed.
So unless we have uncovered a new species, now we're on to a 4th body.
What do you figure the chances are that one of these 2 stiffs is alive and well somewhere collecting a welfare check? Or running a rooming house?
There's no evidence of any violence to any of the remains so far.
We've shipped the bone samples from the first house to the lab. We're waiting.
Well, good. So we know it's not a flu epidemic. That's good.
Yeah, we're going to need the ID on those John and Jane Does because whoever this Viola Broad is, she's running the welfare scam.
Dental records would help us out.
We should get a jump start on any records out of social services that we may need to obtain. Now, are we seeing a pattern emerge here?
In pathology, obviously, we don't know anything except the victims are elderly.
Been looking into a time frame, and we don't really have enough data yet, but it looks as though she's moving every 2.5 years in there.
So there's a chance then that she's looking to make a move.
She's probably looking for a new identity as well because the first house, well, we don't know if it was the first house. Our trail picks up when she was calling herself Viola McKnight. Second house, second body, she's Vera something.
Ruth Vera. We ran a C-pick on Viola McKnight. Nothing popped up. Could be another alias.
Well, just a note on her psychology. She's not a stalker. She's more like a trapper. She's killing in her home, in her own comfort zone. It's a place where she can move about comfortably, and it's without attracting attention.
Her history is boarding houses, looking after the elderly. We're looking into a geographical pattern to these homes, but like I say, it's only the 2. But they're both in the east side, so we're checking addresses with City Hall for multiple unit permits.
Well, since we're all speculating, my guess is going to be a poison's on board of some kind. Hopefully it's arsenic, something that, well, that with that one that shows up in the bones, right, Doc?
You got it.
But there's a multitude of organic poisons out there that leave no trace at all.
They're not bullet holes. There's a uniformity to the edges, and there's no radiating fractures. Besides, if they were bullet holes, there'd be exit wounds, or there'd be bullets rattling around in the skull. There's nothing inside.
The bullets could have fallen out?
Well, I couldn't. Chick would have found him near the skeleton.
Well, okay, if they're not bullet holes, then what are they?
My guess is you're looking at an artifact from surgery. When you get a head injury that bleeds into the brain, sometimes surgeons drill a hole to relieve the pressure.
Yeah, it's called burr holes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's something there. You know, that could lead to identity.
Okay, we're looking for an elderly lady who lived at 1255 Beggs, and she had some kind of a head injury and had these, what do you call it, burr holes drilled.
Unless they were drilled when she was a young woman.
Is this kind of useless information?
Kind of head injury that requires burr holes can lead to epileptic seizures. Does that help you out?
Detective Shannon, Vancouver Homicide. I'm wondering if you could check your database for all the women that were treated in your hospital since 1993.
I'm looking for the name of a woman treated at the clinic after 93. Probably treated for epileptic seizure.
Okay, everybody, time to clean up. Take your dishes to the kitchen, clean up. And then you can have a little nap. Come on, let's go.
That's right. Well, I'm wondering if you had a member of your Epilepsy Awareness Coalition who resided at 1255 Beck Street after 1993.
Run out of hospitals and clinics in the downtown area.
I'm checking the ones on the west side.
How about pharmacies?
So Robert Magus, he's dead for 2 years already, and you keep on firing off the welfare checks to him. How does that happen?
Thousands of checks are sent out every month.
No, we're just talking about the one check. Robert Magus is one little check a month, okay?
He was housebound. We didn't expect him to come in to collect.
That's right. He was in the care of Viola McKnight. You don't remember her, do you?
As a matter of fact, I do. Very capable.
You went to visit Robert at the house?
That's right.
And?
I went by to make sure he's being properly taken care of.
And you obviously satisfied yourself he was properly taken care of. He was well fed. He was well clothed, all that?
Viola was lovely, very caring, and an excellent cook.
Okay. So now, Robert, you moved to the second residence. Did you go see him at the second residence, too?
No, like I said, Viola get excellent care.
But you stopped the checks now. Why?
Well, I called to check on him, and Viola said that he'd gone to live with a relative in a nice home in the country.
A nice home in the country? Is that what she said, a nice home in the country? Isn't that what you tell a little kid when you're going to send the dog to the pound to get put down? Nice home in the country?
I'm sorry?
What about your other clients? Anybody else with Viola McKnight who you love so much?
No. Look, is there a problem with Viola McKnight?
I got a little glitch. You know, Robert Magus's welfare checks kept getting sent out to him 2 years after he was buried in the garden. Viola's back garden, right between the peas and the carrots. We find the bones. We start looking into it. He's getting welfare checks. 2 years he's dead already.
Yeah, 1255 Begg, that's right. What do you got? Sometime after 93. What was the prescription for? Phenobarbital, yeah, that's her. I got a hit. Sorry, what was that? I gotta write that down. Elizabeth Grass. Okay.
Have you seen Plato? I've been looking for him.
Have you looked in the house?
I looked everywhere. I can't find him nowhere.
Oh, he'll show up, but no need to fret.
Plato! Plato!
She's an epileptic who was living in the right house at the right time. That's about all we've got.
Elizabeth Grass is alive and well.
What did you find?
Checked property tax records. She was running a boarding house down there in Strathcona.
Is that the address there?
It is. We're going to have to get a confirmation on that ID.
Maybe we could get that welfare worker to do it.
Yes?
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Detective Leo Shannon. I'm with the Vancouver Police Department.
What's this all about?
I wonder if I could ask you to step outside for a moment.
What's it about?
Well, we just have to ask you a few questions. Do you mind? Would you mind just stepping outside down here for a moment, please? Just for a second. Thank you.
Is that her?
That's her. That's Viola McKnight.
Bring it on.
I'm sorry, you must have the wrong person. My name is Elizabeth Grass.
Well, that's okay, Elizabeth. We just would like you to go downtown and like you ask some questions about some of your former tenants.
It'll only take an hour. You can clear this up for us, we'll bring you back.
Well, let me tell my boarders first. Some of them are physically challenged, and they depend upon me to take care of them.
Now, that's okay. We'll have an officer take care of that.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. It's no problem at all.
Well, all right.
Okay.
We want lunch now.
Okay. I'll order you a pizza. How's that? You like pizza, don't you?
Too spicy.
My name is Elizabeth Grass. How many times do I have to tell you?
Well, you see, the thing is, we have two witnesses who say that you aren't. They say they know you as Viola McKnight.
Well, they're confused, aren't they?
Was Elizabeth Grass one of your tenants at the 1255 Beg Street house?
Well, I lived at that address until I bought this place for myself, if that's what you're asking.
No. No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking how you can claim to be Elizabeth Grass when we found the skeletal remains of Elizabeth Grass at the Beg Street address.
Oh, that's peculiar. How could I be found there if I'm sitting here with you?
Doesn't look like she's gonna fall.
We have nothing.
Well, you have the two witnesses. They can identify her as Viola McKnight.
Yeah, but it's her word against theirs, that's all. We have a trail of checks, but nothing leads to her. So, we can't even get her on evidence of fraud. All we know is that deaths took place.
We can't determine cause of death from no skeletal remains. Your case is going sideways.
You want to go in there?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can go in there, and if I get anything, I'll throw it back to you. Yeah, that'll work. Boy, look at her. Sitting there, sweet as sugar, little old lady. Scares the hell out of me. Just wondering if you could just help us out here a little bit. Now, you were living at 1255 Beg Street. And that was from 1993 until when?
1993, I don't remember.
Were you running that house as a rooming house, too?
I don't know which house you mean.
Are you having a few problems remembering things today?
I'm an old lady. You'll have to be patient with me.
Don't you worry about a thing. We have some time. No, it's hard. Very hard. You know, I was thinking of my mother. She had to look after my dad after he had his strokes. You know, I used to watch her and I used to think, boy, that's really tough, you know. Feeding him, cleaning him. You know, you have to really care for somebody to be able to do that. It takes some heart, you know. And for her, it was just him, one person. But you take care of a lot of people, don't you?
Oh, yes. Somebody has to take responsibility.
That's right. That's right. So there were at least 5 or 6 other people living with you at 1255 Beck Street from 1993 for at least 2 years, at least. Now, do you remember any of their names?
Oh, my goodness. I cared for so many people and for so long. I can't remember their names. I wish I could help you. But I'm confused about what you're after, what the police are after. What you want.
Well, we found some bodies buried in some backyards of a couple of houses. Now, I'm not suggesting to you that they died of unnatural causes or that there was any foul play involved. And if that's what happened, that's not even my job anyway. My job is simply, I got to come up with an explanation for people. You know? Something, what could have happened? Well, maybe they ate something. Maybe they drank something. Accidentally poisoned themselves.
Well, if you're asking me, I don't know.
So at your present address, then, is there anybody there that's living with you right now that might remember some of your previous tenants from 1255 Beck Street?
No, my mind isn't with me today.
I'm not so sure about that.
Can you come down here? There's something I want you to do for me. I want you to talk to the tenants, find out which ones are lucid. See if any of them has any memory of any former tenants who might have suddenly disappeared. Find out the financial arrangements, who gets the check, and so on like that, okay? Hey, hey! Where you going? Come here. What's your name?
Bert. I'm looking for Plato.
Okay, Bert. Who's Plato?
My dog, he's missing.
Well, I'm Detective Shannon. Are you a tenant here?
I live here. This is my house.
Okay. All right, Bert. You go on up to your room. There'll be a policeman along to talk to you, all right?
I found your dog.
Plato!
You want social assistance, Ed?
What did you do? Why did you give it to him?
Hey, what's going on here?
His dog died. You killed him. You fed him. You're not allowed to feed him.
All right, okay. All right, all right. Come on, dear. All right, here, find out what the dog ate. Seize it if you can. How long have you had the dog, Bert?
Since he was born.
I lost a dog, too.
Since he was a puppy. He was a runt.
Was he born here in Vancouver? How long ago?
14 years.
Well, you know what, Bert? Maybe he just died of old age. Was he born in this house?
No, at the big house.
What was that address?
Are you the police?
Yes.
I'm not allowed to talk to you.
Why?
Because you'll find out everything.
Oh. Well, do you think we should do about your dog?
We have to bury him.
Well, I could help you with that. You like that?
Sonny talked to the lab. They finished analysis on the first 2 skeletons, and now there's nothing on the bones that suggests any kind of homicide. There's no poison they can detect.
We're not letting her out of this building, okay? Not so she can go open up another home for the doomed. That's never going to happen. You just got to keep working. Well, we got to keep working her until the crack does open.
Yeah, well, she's got that little old lady defense down, Pat. There's no opportunity there. She's got, well, we don't know how many aliases. You know, she's got her trail covered, though.
Well, ironically, part of what she may have created using the various aliases, something any defense attorney's going to be able to exploit. The use of split personality disorder argument, dissociative personality, that sort of thing.
Sorry to interrupt. Thought you might want to know that Shannon just called in from the house. Says Viola's son is there.
Viola has a son?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's scary.
Maybe you should take a run at talking to him, too.
Yeah? Okay.
Have you just gone ahead and buried things before?
I'll get the shovel.
What's all this about?
Oh, that's Bert. He just found his dog dead in a room upstairs, and he wants to bury him.
Plato wants to go to heaven.
Well, let me take a look at her.
No! I can't talk to policemen.
Well, I'm not a policeman, okay? I'm a coroner. You know what I do? I look after the dead. I make sure they get up to heaven.
That's right. He's the coroner. That's his job. All the people in the graveyard, he helped them.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
Okay, you can see him.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry about your dog here, Bert. How did he die, do you think?
The policeman took Mom away.
Now, look, Bert, before I bury them, I gotta find out why they died. And if I don't do that, you know what happens? They gotta wait, and they gotta wait before they get into heaven. You don't want them to wait. Plato here?
No.
That's why he has to do an autopsy. It's like surgery. He has to look inside to see what happened.
No.
Well, let me explain to you now why I have to do that. I gotta do that because we're very worried that some people may have died in this house. And when these people died, they may have got into the ground before I got a chance to do my job. You understand?
Not at this house.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what. If I can find out what happened to those people that died, maybe I don't have to do that operation on Plato. How do you feel about that?
Okay.
Might work, huh?
Okay.
Okay, so how do these people die, Bert?
They ran out of time, and then they just stopped.
They just stopped. It's the same thing. I still gotta find out why they stopped. Right now, I got the bones to work on. You know what you get from bones? Nothing at all. That's why I'm gonna have to do this operation. Open up Plato.
No.
What?
Sammy? You could look inside of Sammy.
Sammy's not another dog, is he, Bert?
Her name was Ruth Vera. Did you know Ruth?
I've got to get back to the house. I've never been away this long. Who'll take care of them if I'm not there?
I'm sure they'll be fine.
I have to protect them.
Protect her?
That's right. They're old and vulnerable to all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm. So what can you tell me about Ruth?
Ruth.
Bert. Bert, you know I'm not a policeman, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's safe to tell you this, okay? But this is what we believe right now. We believe that all your friends, all those people you helped get to heaven, Bert, they didn't get there by old age. You know what I mean?
What happened to them?
We think they ate something, Bert. We think it was poison of some kind.
How does that happen?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what I think happened, okay? Whatever Plato ate, I'm not trying to upset you, but whatever your dog ate might be the same thing what those people ate.
No. No, they only ate what Mom cooked.
Hmm.
I've done my best to protect him, but my son is troubled.
He's troubled? How is your son troubled exactly?
It's possible he's done something terrible.
Bert has done something terrible. Okay. Okay. Let me just remind you that these people were entrusted into your care, okay? And they're not the Bert's care. And you have defrauded the social assistance out of how much money do you think over the years? Bert has done something wrong.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to live as an older person in this society?
Okay. Yeah, I do understand.
Well, Jesus, look at that. He's mummified.
It's only been 6 months.
Been a hot summer.
Could happen.
At least we'll get something back from toxicology now.
Yeah. 10 to 1 we find the same poison that killed the dog.
Now, I need some time here before you open them up. I need to get some evidence off the trunk.
Yeah, I'll get Viola's prints, get a match for you to work with.
You know, they're gonna do it, they're gonna hang us on Bert.
Yeah, but he's only working with half a deck. He gets a lawyer. He's looking at 3 squares a day in the psych ward. And Mama, the way she'll work the jury, be lucky if she does any time at all.